Oh my goodness, so much flattery. Thank you all, thank you all. Hi, I'm Dr4gonBlitz, and this is going to be Castlevania Symphony of the Night, any % luck mode. This is essentially the same as any % no save corruption, which is like the main any % category, but I'm going to be playing in luck mode because it specifically allows for some special time saves. This is some stuff that I can't really talk about during the run because so much stuff happens during the run, but essentially while playing in luck mode, we have access to different stats. It heightens our luck stat, but lowers all of our other stats, which kind of makes it like a hard mode, but we're actually going to take advantage of that for some extra like movement and skips. Those movement and skips are just barely enough to allow us to hit a very specific in-game cycle. This is called the sub-7 clock rush. There's a specific room in the game that if I can get there in under 7 minutes, I can essentially skip an entire like minute of waiting, and this was thought to not really be humanly possible for a long time. But within just a few years, runners have been able to hit this. I think as of right now, only 3 people in the world have hit this in a run, and I'm going to try and hit this live at GDQ. So it's going to require some good RNG, some good execution, and some fun along the way. And if I don't hit it, I guess it's time for donations at that point. So either way, it's a win-win. Let's go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1, go.
You've got
so starting Symphony of the Night, we're going to start in the prologue of the game where we're playing as Richter. My goal for this section is to get through as fast as possible while ending with 0 hearts. The way I'm going to do that is I'm going to throw holy waters on the ground and use the Hydrostorm item crash here. This is going to be useful for a few things. Let's see here, got to set this up. Hopefully this works. Okay. There we go, we did get a damage stack there. It's essentially random whether we get the damage stacks or not. I'm hoping that I get them because it saves a lot of time. Didn't get one there and did not get one there. Okay, so the 2 most important damage stacks didn't happen because it would have skipped this jump animation. Hopefully it doesn't give me a second jump. Okay, we're good. So that eats into a lot of our time for this cycle. I'm constantly thinking about the time here because we do not have a lot of it on our hands. Like, the difference between getting a perfect set of damage stacks versus no damage stacks at all is about 8 seconds. And the margin of error on this sub-7 cycle can be like within 8 seconds. So I kind of need to play perfectly from here. So if you look in the top left-hand corner, my HP starts at 25. That is because of luck mode. That lower HP is exactly what I'm looking for a movement tech called a big toss, which is this right here. So if I take more than half of my health in a single hit, I get sent flying across the room indefinitely until I hit a wall or a ceiling. We're going to use that to skip past a sequence where death takes away all my powerful starting gear. This is a very classic skip. Many of you have probably done this in your own free time. And it turns out to be quite fast for a speedrun sense as well. So this is a death skip right here. That room we just skipped right there, normally death takes away my starting gear, but I get to keep it all, which helps keep this run fast for a couple different reasons. We have really good starting gear. The Alucard sword is going to kill things very, very quickly, and I get to start with the Alucard shield. This shield is very important because it allows me to do a movement tech you're seeing me do right here, which is called shield dashing. I'm essentially canceling my backdash over and over again by pulling up the shield, and that allows me to move about twice as fast as like normal walking speed, a little over twice as fast. The other thing that I'm going to be doing, to help mitigate like time during this section is essentially like jump as little as possible, like remain in the air as little as possible, because you can't backdash in the air, and that's our fastest movement tech right now. So I'm essentially trying to minimize the time I spend in the air. The other thing you might notice me doing here is I'm intentionally avoiding enemies. This is because I'm on a very specific experience route. Essentially, I'm trying to see the least number of level up animations possible, and that does require some good RNG coming up on this next boss fight here in just a second. Got to dodge this guy. Essentially, I'm trying to kill both bosses on the same exact frame, and if I get critical hits, it becomes impossible in some circumstances, so I actually don't want any critical hits here. And if they happen, it's essentially random. There's nothing I can do about it, so let's see if we can get it. Nice, that saves so much time. Oh my God. Woo! Yeah, that is completely luck-based, and it makes this run pretty brutal to do resets at home with, but I'm very happy we hit that. That is going to save us about 6 seconds overall. That does help us a little bit with the bad RNG we had at the start. So we're almost even on like an average-ish run, maybe slightly below average, but if I keep up the momentum, I might still barely hit this cycle. And I hear you thinking at home, well, he keeps talking about this clock cycle. I haven't seen no clocks yet. What does any of this even mean? Well, essentially, we are gated in a specific room that's coming up here in a little bit, and I can show you guys when we pass it, by a specific statue. The statue moves in and out of position every other minute on the in-game timer. So essentially, on odd-numbered minutes, the statue is in the way, and I won't be able able to progress. So if I can make it there in under 7, that's considered an odd number, or an even numbered minute, sorry, the 6 would still be in the minutes place, and it would allow me through. This is the statue I'm talking about in the top left-hand corner here. This cutscene essentially is kind of like a hint telling you that the statue can move at all. It's a little tricky for a lot of players on like their first playthroughs. They get stuck there, but essentially, if we can make it past there, we can make it to like the most important aspects of the run. That's going to be the Form of Mist relic and the Soul of Bat relic. Those essentially are my go mode for this run. As soon as I have both of them, I can just beat the game with just a little bit of movement. But I can't make it up to that statue quite yet. I need a little bit of help. So I'm going out of my way here to the outer wall to grab the Form of Wolf. That's going to be a transformation that's going to let me get past that statue. But for now, this would actually be a great time for some donations until we get there.
Absolutely. We have just over $6,600 left to go for 100K. We are absolutely climbing, y'all. Keep the hype coming in. I have $25 from CD-ROM simply saying, more Kirby, please. All right, Dragon Blitz, hit that cycle.
All right, so from here, we're coming up on a boss fight that is a little bit trickier because we're playing in luck mode. Essentially, our stats being lowered hurts our ability to use certain tools in the game. For example, our heart count, our total heart count is too low for us to take advantage of the stopwatch sub-weapon, which we would normally use here in like any other run, to stop the doppelganger in his place, and we could just wail on him for free. Here we kind of have to fight him legit, and if he gives me a bad pattern, it could lose us some time, yeah, like that. Like that, that's very unfortunate. Yeah, and if you get critical hits on him, it's actually nicer because you can actually mitigate the number of hits you do to kill him. When you knock him back, he essentially has iframes until he hits the ground. So a little bit of a slower fight. There is still a chance that we can hit that cycle. I'm gonna try my best here, but RNG has not been 100% on my side. There is some tricks I can pull out to try and save a little bit of that time back. Coming up here, that's that Soul of Wolf. I'm gonna try and skip down to that location, doing like a frame-perfect floor clip into a animation cancel, but I first have to open the path by pressing this switch. So I'm gonna try and lock in for this skip here. This saves about 2 seconds, and I need those 2 seconds. There it is. Got the floor clip, didn't get the animation cancel. Still time save overall. Yeah, that animation cancel I'm talking about, I'll try my best to showcase it in later parts of the run. It's a relatively new technique for the run. So I'm going out of my way here to grab this garnet. This is going to be a sellable gem that I'm going to use for a glitch later on in the run. The reason I'm able to grab that is because we have the Soul of Wolf now. The Soul of Wolf is that transformation you saw me use there to jump up and get that garnet. The Wolf is useful for a couple of reasons. One, it gives me a transformation, and anytime you untransform back into regular Alucard form, you get access to a dive kick. That's going to be our way of gaining the height we need to get past that statue that was blocking us. The other thing that's nice about the Wolf form is it also just allows you to run pretty fast. It's almost as fast as shield dashing, but you are allowed to keep that momentum in the air, and since we can't shield dash in the air, for sections like this where you need to do a lot of jumps, it can actually be faster to be in wolf form for them. And we have a little bit, some tricky platforming coming up, and I have to dodge these enemies in a specific way, so hopefully we make this movement happen. Very tricky jump right here. All right, this wasn't the best section. I'm really hoping we still hit the cycle, but I'm not 100% sure there. It's based off of the in-game timer, and nah. Unfortunately, a couple of bad luck things went our way, and we weren't able to hit it, but great time for donations.
I got you. Please give it up for Dragon Blitz for doing commentary while running through that gauntlet. We are just $5,500 to go to 100K, and if you think this cycle is going to give you breathing room, you are sorely mistaken. The end of the run is coming up. I have $99.99 from Compacted D, who says, a miserable pile of pennies equal to Drax HP for one of my favorite games, Soten, and one of my favorite streamers, Dragon Blitz. Thank you so much. I've also got $25 from Sushi Elemental saying, Dr. Acula to the boss room. Calling Dr. Acula, please come to the boss room. Thank you.
There it is. We were able to dive kick off that candle to gain the extra height that we need to make it into Alrox's quarters. This is essentially the previous cycle that we used to use in the standard mode speedruns of the game. So it's not like it's that much slower, all things considered, but the extra minute of time save has completely lowered the world record potential of this run over the last couple of years. But now that we're here in the Colosseum, we are going to be getting that form of mist. It is guarded by a boss fight with the Minotaur and Werewolf, so I have to get past them. But thankfully, on the way, there is a library card item. That is an item that allows me to warp directly to the library, which is useful because that's where the Soul of Bat is, and that's basically go mode for us as soon as we get it. It will have all the movement we need to do the skips that we need to get to the end of the game. So there's that library card. And a funny thing about this boss is by skipping the cutscene, the bosses don't aggro on me right away because they're waiting for that cutscene timer to finish. But for whatever reason, skipping the cutscene just delays that timer. So they just stand there and I can get them out of the way very quickly. And there is the form of mist. I'm going to go ahead and use that library card. And as soon as we get to the library, the tricks don't end here. We are going to be going out of our way before getting that Soul of Bat for the Fairy Card Relic. This is another relic that, this one specifically summons the Fairy Familiar, and she has some dialogue as soon as you summon her, and we're gonna use that dialogue for that shop glitch I was talking about. But first, okay, good there. That book has some RNG that can absolutely screw you over, so I'm happy that he didn't showcase it there. And there's that fairy card. So utilizing the book jump gets me up here earlier than intended. We get the fairy card. We're gonna now turn around back to go talk to the shopkeeper. There's a lot of really important items for us in the shop, so this shop glitch is very, very useful. So we're gonna stay in a specific spot here, summon the fairy, wait for her to start talking. Skip the cutscene, and now I can open the menu whilst being able to talk to the librarian. This allows me to sell a gem as I equip it. This underflows the amount of gems, and now I can sell as many as I need to essentially have infinite money. So we're gonna use this infinite money for all of the best items in the game. The duplicator is probably the most important. It allows us to use single-use items an infinite amount of time. So we bought a mana prism and buffalo stars. Mana prisms allow me to refill my mana, which is gonna be very important for movement later on. And buffalo stars are just like a really powerful throwing star. It allows me to kill bosses and get enemies out of the way very, very quickly. A little tricky movement here, and I'm hoping for good RNG on these enemies coming up right here. Yes, just like that. All right, I know I have 1 HP, but it's all I need. And there we go. We use the iframes from the potion to get past that guy, and we have another boss here, and he's gone. The fairy gives me a little help there, drops a potion for me as I wait, and we're about to get that Soul of Bat, but the tricks don't stop here. As soon as we get the Soul of Bat, we're gonna go for a triple frame perfect floor clip, and there's that quick item grab I was talking about earlier. Gotta get past this wall. And I'm gonna be setting up a floor clip on these stairs right here. I'm gonna use the map to help buffer these inputs to make it a little bit easier. 1 frame off. There it is, all right. Yeah, that floor clip, if done first try, saves about 6 seconds, so. And while we're in the floor, we're gonna be wing smashing out of here using the bat's like inherent ability. It's like a special spell that you get to utilize with the bat. And that's gonna be our fastest form of movement for the rest of the run here. So you're gonna see me flying around quite a bit. It's one of the reasons I love this game so much is the movement is so fluid and so fun. And it's very technical as well. The Soul of Bat gives you the ability to wing smash. The way you do it is you have to hold the jump button and then do a 3/4 circle motion on the control stick and then release the jump button. And you have to do this about once every second. And on top of that, you're also in control of the bat's height as well. So you have to hide these like 3/4 circle motions in with the like height control that you do as well. It's very technical, very impressive to like master at a high level. And it also just goes really fast and feels really fun to use. And now we're coming up on the end of the first castle here. Spoilers for Castlevania Symphony of the Night, by the way, but there's 2 castles. I'm sure many of you guys may or may not have known that. But now that we have Soul of Bat, we have everything we need to beat the game because there are some special little skips we're going to be going for to essentially skip past all of the like intended item progression. Normally you're supposed to get like a couple of different item MacGuffins to go save Richter and then enter the second castle the normal way. But the way that they program the room, there is a tiny gap that we can fit into that essentially allows us to enter the room with the Richter boss fight without the game knowing, and it loads the default state of that room. And the default state happens to be Richter being saved and allowing us to move on to the end of the game. So I'm gonna go for a specific wolf jump here. Did not get it. I'm gonna go for a backup that is a little bit slower. There it is, nice. You can tell because the ceiling is kind of like visible when you're not normally supposed to see the ceiling, and we made it. Alrighty, and that's Richter skip done. There's many different ways to skip past Richter. That happens to be one of the faster ones. And now we're in the second castle, and this is the part of the game where normally you're expected to go run around, defeat different bosses, collect the pieces of Dracula, and then get to the end of the game that way. But we are going to utilize an item that we got at the very beginning of the run because we ended with 0 hearts in the prologue, that being the Heart Refresh. The Heart Refresh is an item that freezes the screen similar to a level up, and freezing the screen in Symphony of the Night can allow you to break the game in a couple of very fun ways. But on the way over there, there isn't too much to talk about other than just like this boss fight here, where we're just gonna enter the room and throw stars as quickly as possible. Medusa is down. And it's gonna be just a bunch more wing smashing from here, so this is now a great time for some donations till the end of the run almost.
You've absolutely got it. We are less than $5,000 away from no dupes, y'all. Keep the energy coming. Do you hear how fast Dragon Blitz is talking? Do you hear how fast I am talking? Do you see how fast the run is moving? We want to see no dupes. $25 here from CT3LA. I won't be able to watch much this year, so getting my donation in early. I want to see that no dupes run. $10 as well from Plum Starlet. Oh, Alucard, I don't care if it your pixels. You are the perfect man. I also have $1,000 from Anonymous. They say, such a great cause and a great event. Every little bit this community can do has a huge impact. We are so close to $100,000, and we are well over halfway and climbing on our upgrade to double time incentive for Crypt of the Necrodancer. If you think things are going fast now, there is no upper bound on how fast things can get, but only if you go to gdq.gg/donate and put your donation towards that double time incentive. $4,000 to go. I believe, chat.
Alrighty, guys. We are basically at the end of the run now. We are one room away from a room that is blocked off that needs all of the special Dracula relics. But what I'm doing here is I'm shifting the screen over by a pixel and then pausing the screen with the Heart Refresh. This underflows my exposition as soon as I enter the next room. I'm now out of bounds. 3, 4, 5 wing smashes while out of bounds will push me over to the other side, past the gate where you're normally blocked, and I can take up this elevator to the end of the game. And there's just 2 bosses left before the end of the run. So if you got donations, I would say put them in now.
$4,000 left to go, $39.20. Who's gonna be the one to get us no dupes?
The last thing to talk about as far as like mechanics goes, I've basically gotten to show everything off for this run. The last thing we're gonna do is before fighting Shaft and Dracula, I'm gonna open my menu and equip another set of Buffalo Stars. So I now have Buffalo Stars on both hands. This allows me to throw more stars total. The game has a limit of 3 per hand. So by putting 1 on each hand, I can now throw 6 at a time before they despawn. And then you have to wait a little bit before throwing them again. So this basically doubles my DPS, and we're coming up on the end of the run here in just a little bit. It is the final fight. It'll be a few swipes from Dracula, and then it'll be time. What a run, it goes by so fast.
I feel like we just barely started.
Start at the top of the screen so we can start hitting him as soon as he's vulnerable. Drop down, he swipes left, I dodge. Swipes right, I dodge. And time should be coming up here in just now. Wow. Considering I did not hit the clock cycle, that's pretty good. I'm not too mad at that. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you everybody who donates and watches GDQ and supports us. I very much appreciate it. I want to give a huge shout out to the Symphony of the Night community. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for all those lovely people helping me learn the game, helping me continue to push the game forward that I love so much. If you're interested in being a part of the community, definitely check out the speedrun.com page, join the Discord. If you are a fan of Symphony of the Night, you are more than welcome in that community. And I'd love to see you just chilling with us at some point. Shout outs also to the second place runner. I do want to say this Classic Advent is 1 second away from my personal best. It is a tight race right now in any percent. And any day now, I expect him to get the record while I'm here at GDQ. And I can't wait to go back and then break his record, and we'll have some competition and some fun along the way. So shout outs to you, shout outs to everybody in the community. too many people to shout out. But yeah, I'm just happy to be here, and thank you guys so much.